Let's go. Clap it up for the modern woman. Simone Biles understood the assignment and she has conquered mandom. She found herself a man. Very proud of Simone Biles. So, apparently, Simone Biles and some NFL players, they're making rounds among the social media and celebrity couples because Simone Biles came out and proudly stated that my man is the fucking prize. I don't give a shit. All the other things I did in gymnastics, all the other bullshit, don't make it don't mean nothing. He was a prize. I went after that man. I made sure I got him, and now I'm happy in a fucking happy relationship. And you know what? A lot of women are fucking hating, specifically black women, but a lot of women are fucking hating on Simone Biles because she went out and understood the assignment. She understood nature, and she knew if I want to go get a man, I got to go fucking put myself in a position to go get him. And this is a good lesson for most women to learn. See, what we're facing in America is a huge single woman population that is almost out of control. There is not enough men out there for all the single women that exist in America. And it's for a multitude of reasons. First of all, a lot of dudes are just not fucking worthy of even having a chick. A lot of dudes don't take care of themselves physically, mentally, spiritually, have no leadership qualities. They have nothing to really offer to a woman besides being a man. Which should be enough, but not in this particular day and age. In this day and age, this is probably the hardest time for a man to get a functional relationship because men, like Kevin Samuels has said, have done such a good job at civilizing the world that they have pretty much been able to outsource most of mandom to women. Like, and when I say outsource, I mean like they have created police systems, irrigation, water, food sources, transportation, roads, everything that like pretty much allows a human to be able to operate in a modern civilization has been created due to the sacrifices of great men before us. And due to that great sacrifice of men before us, there is pretty much like a lack of incentives for most men to go do some man shit. So now you got guys working in fucking offices, click-clacking all day. You got guys just not taking care of themselves, being fucking degens, incels, hanging out on the internet all day because they don't have to do the hard work anymore. You don't have to protect the borders. You don't have to farm your own food. You don't have to go kill shit. You pretty much just get to exist in a fantasy land. And that's what most men are existing. Most men are existing in a fantasy land. So for the very few and proud, brave men that decide to elevate themselves and become better than the standard average man, which is pretty much dog shit, they deserve a fucking complimentary partner or a woman that wants to be in their life and that's willing to fight and put herself in the best position to be able to be successful in a relationship. And that's what I find so fucking beautiful about the Simone Biles situation. It's because despite her being internationally known, being famous, being out there in the world, people knowing her for her gymnastics, being a gold medalist, and all this other stuff, she was able to humble herself and say, you know what? It's all great, it's all gravy, but what does it mean if I don't have a man to share it with? What does it fucking mean? And that's what a lot of women need to start asking themselves. What does it fucking mean if you don't have a man to share it with? And see, a lot of women have been like burned by some of these shitty ass dudes. So I don't blame them for having like resentment and not really going out there to go fight to go get a man. Because they look at most guys like they're just useless motherfuckers. Like when most women look out in the world, they look at 80% of guys and they say, I will never even touch this guy. This guy is slime. And it's amazing because when most women stumble upon a man who's actually worth his fucking salt, they don't know how to behave. They don't know how to actually get that guy to be their husband. They don't know how to put on the fucking feminine charm to be able to entice that man to want to take care of you, want to provide for you, want to protect you, and want to be there for the long haul. And that's why I find the Simone Biles thing so interesting. Is because so many women actually want to aspire to be Simone Biles, like as far as like being rich, taking care of, being famous, being known. And despite her having all that stuff, feminine nature never changes. Women want to be taken care of. They want to be sheltered. They want to be protected by a strong, handsome, good-looking, well-spoken, hard, and achieving, high self-achieving man. And so, women, ladies, if you happen to stumble upon one of these guys, you got to put in the offensive game plan. You got to get out there and try to figure out how do I get this motherfucker to be with me. And when you listen to the stories about what the guy was saying, I don't remember his fucking name. I think he plays in the NFL or some shit like that. He basically said, look, we met on Tinder or whatever, met on a dating app, which is even funnier because that's the modern relationship in 2023. is everybody's meeting on these goddamn dating apps. I'm totally against dating apps. Listen, go outside and walk around, please. But it was funny because dude said, I didn't even know who she was, man. I just saw a chick and like, I guess like she's so clever, which is even funnier. She was smart enough to realize I don't need to be out here promoting all the fucking bullshit. I wouldn't be surprised she had a fake name. And basically, dude was saying like, yeah, man, she drove 45 minutes to go see me on my Instagram and all that stuff. I would see her put up a bunch of likes. She was on the offensive. On the offensive. See, ladies, you can learn a lot from that. Because in this modern age, most girls don't even try. Most girls think the guy should come to them, and the guy should be doing he should be doing all the work to earn her admiration and to get her to want to be a part of the program. Wrong, fellas. That's not how the game works. Listen, you should learn a lot from this guy. The woman that's most likely going to be your wife, you probably don't even know her. The woman that really wants you, you probably don't even know her. You know why? Because she's sitting back observing you and watching you and trying to game plan. How does she get into the position to get closer to you? And Simone Biles, she understood the assignment. 45-minute drives from the suburbs to get to this man, to go see him. Setting up Instagram likes. Putting out good messages. Feeding the man. Making him, supporting him. Being happy for him. Just being an overall nice presence in his life. That's all a man really fucking wants. And it's so hard for ladies to grasp that how simple we are as like men, as the creature. We don't desire a lot. Let me tell you something. Once a man starts to get his paper right, physically he's looking good, mentally he's well equipped and he's good in the mind, and he's thriving and catching his stride as a dude. Bro, when you start making some real paper, you don't even give a fuck about the paper anymore. The paper almost becomes non-existent. I'm getting to a stage in my life now. Don't get me wrong, paper is still important. But there's days where I'll just make a shitload of money and I'm like, okay, well, that was nice. And it just goes to the bank account and sits there. And I might go buy a sword, might go buy some camera equipment. But you get to a certain point where you kind of have everything in your domain and you're pretty content. You're pretty happy. I can eat whatever I want. I can go steak and lobster if I fucking feel like it. Get sushi. I can buy the nicest threads. I can get a nice car. I can get pretty much whatever the fuck I want. The only thing I can't get is life. I can't have a life without a fucking lady. But here's the thing. You're not going to undersell yourself as a man because once you understand that your value, what you're bringing, and how you elevate and change a woman's life, you're not going to settle for worse. And if you settle for worse, then you're a fucking idiot. You're like Anthony Edwards. You're out here fucking Instagram models and getting them pregnant, then asking for abortions. That's what dumb niggas with no self-value do with money. They fuck their life up. Once you get to a position where you know that you're the man, when you walk around with like a fucking chip on your shoulder, with a fucking swagger, man, ain't nobody can tell you a goddamn fucking thing. And you be damned if you take some bullshit from a lady that doesn't understand what she's getting out the deal. But here's the key point, young men and fellas and ladies. This only applies to men who are high striving, high achievers, and are looking to be leaders in their community and world leaders possibly. If you're not trying to get to that level, or you don't inspire to be greater than just working your 9 to 5, coming home, eating, playing video games, listen, no woman wants to join that fucking life. And the woman that does want to join that life, she's going to come with some bullshit. Because she's not trying to elevate. Because listen, don't get it fucked up. I like her hypergamy or whatever the fucking thing is. When women are always trying to get to the highest guy they can get to, that's good. That's good for society because we don't want women choosing losers. Because when we see women choosing losers, what you get is a fucking shitty ass community. And we don't want a shitty ass community. I want women to get the best value for their youth and beauty as possible. Because once again, guys, you have to understand, women come in with an inherent value of the beauty and the youth and the looks. They get it all up front. So it'll be unfair to a man who hasn't fucking done shit, hasn't accomplished anything, to try to demand to get the highest beauty and youth. You don't deserve it. You haven't done anything yet. You haven't built a life where she can come in, operate within your system, and both of you guys prosper and thrive for the next fucking 20 to 60, 80 years, however fucking long you're going to live. And see, most guys, they're fucking 18 to 25. They just think they deserve to fucking have a wife and all this shit. Bro, you don't know how to fucking take care of yourself. You don't know how to wash your ass and drink some water and take care of your own fucking domain. So how the fuck are you going to have a woman come into your shit and then expect her to contribute to a piece of shit you haven't fucking done? I want guys to understand, we don't live in the Stone Age anymore, where a woman just needed a man just to be able to survive. A lot of these ladies, they can kind of survive on their own. Now, they're going to be miserable and sad because most women don't want to be by themselves. They want to have a relationship. But the thing that makes women so great is that they refuse to fucking compromise on bullshit. They refuse to. They rather be alone. They rather go down with the ship than deal with a fucking loser man that gives them the ick. They can't take a loser man. So this should be a message to you fellas. And this should be really a bright spot for society. I think we should be able to promote this more, this Simone Biles model. Because a lot of women are hating and saying, oh, I can never be that good. She's better than me. I would never do that for a man. Well, shit. That's why you ain't Simone Biles. That's why you miserable and not happy in a relationship. Or you got a fucking piece of shit boyfriend and not a husband. That's why you don't have a man. Because you would not do what Simone Biles is willing to do to get a man, which isn't really that hard, which is all it is be nice, be kind, smile, make the man feel like the man, fucking support him, and try to come into his life and be a positive instead of fucking trying to take from him all the time. And that's all you gotta do. If you could do that, I promise you, ladies, you'll have a man before the fucking end of 2024. So this is what you gotta do, young ladies. Get out there. Go spot a motherfucker who's on his shit. And you could smell it on him. You can smell it on the energy. He just walks with a certain swagger, keeps a fucking chain on his neck, gold teeth. Well, not about all that, but just the way he walks, his aura. He just got a fucking a zump about him, a fucking fire, a zest of life about him. You find that guy. You study that motherfucker. You figure out how do I get a position to make him happy. And if you can figure that one out, I promise you, you'll have his fucking heart. Because most women ain't even trying. You'd be surprised. The same way most guys ain't trying to fucking be successful and be at a high level, most women ain't trying to really get a man. They just think a man's going to plop out the fucking sky. No, be like Simone Biles. Get out there and put yourself out there and force that nigga to fucking want to fall in love with you. Force him. Desire. And trust me, he'll appreciate it. Trust me, he will appreciate it.